spray to keep you shiny. Okay, so this guy had he had a curl activator and it was called Primo. But then uh, directly right, I guess probably about 6 months after we started working with him, he changed his whole company to Love Nest, and subsequently that changed the name of his record company to Love Nest Records.
Wow. Okay.
So that's of course for a record company, that's probably the dumbest record company name you probably ever heard in your life. Okay, so he had this curl activator, and I don't know what he had in his product, but after a couple days of using it, it made these crumbs in your hair. So we called it crumdivator. We called it crumdivator. So it didn't leave an oily stain on your pillow. It left a bunch of crumbs. It left a bunch of crumbs all in your bed, like you was eating cookies in the bed and shit. So it was yeah. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad, brother. We called it crumdivator. And I don't know if it's unfortunate. I had the little Michael Jackson cut. I had a shag in the back.
Yeah.
I had a shag in the back, and I had one little curl right here off the front. And yeah, I was looking like Prince Pootie Tang. Prince, no, I was Prince Pootie Tang because I had the little curl in the front like Prince. I mean like Michael Jackson, and I had the shag in the back like Pootie Tang. It was ridiculous, to say the least. And then we wore these. Y'all remember parachute pants?
I knew that. The hairband.
Okay, well, we had the parachute suit. We had the parachute pants with the parachute coat with the big shoulder pads in them and shit. Oh man, that shit was ridiculous.
I'm over here crying.
It was ridiculous.
How was that? Somebody got some stuff going on in the background. You got to fix your background. No, but I knew there was some truth to it. Because Nick told me that, I was like, that can't be right. I said, well, this year I had some of those.
Yeah, hey, man, yeah, bro. You know, it was get in where you fit in at that time. Get it how you can get it.
Yeah. So tell me how you really try to fit in, because I remember, like I told you
I'm
earlier,
sorry, that's me.
I'm from Connecticut. I'm from the tri-state.
Right.
You know, New York is just an hour away from my hometown, and Jersey is
Right.
not too far behind. But
Okay.
anyhow, with that being said, where I'm from, it dominated the music scene.
Right.
I'm saying when we first started out.
Right.
I didn't know nothing about West Coast.
Yeah.
I thought it was a foreign country. I didn't know nothing about it because the music scene is so heavy.
Well, the way I got into music.
Ice-T with you.
Yeah, no. Well, I'll tell you the story. So it was these brothers. It was three brothers. It was three cousins from They was from Brownsville, New York.
Okay.
And their grandmother lived across the street from me in Compton.
Okay.
The Valentine boys. Their last name was Valentine. It was DJ D. It was Jerry Valentine. It was Denard Valentine. Let's see, what was Wiz name? Gerald Valentine and Richard McMichael. So they was all cousins. DJ D, of course, he was the DJ, and the other three, they was MCs, and they all came from the time in New York when everybody was doing parties in the park and doing basement parties and stuff like that, and so they moved across the street from me, and they used to be, DJ D would be on the turntables, and everybody else would be sitting around spitting rhymes or whatever, and I used to just sit there and watch. I was fascinated by the turntable play. I remember one thing in particular. He would take a shot glass, put it on the turntable, so to spin, and he would take a 45 and put a 45 on top of the shot glass, so it would be up in the air. It wouldn't go all the way down. And then he would take the needle and put it on the arm of the turntable upside down and put it on the record, and it would make the record play backwards.
Wow.
Yes, it was yeah, and I was fascinated by that. So I used to just sit there and watch. So he started getting more and more popular in Compton, and he started being hired to do these house parties. So I became essentially I was his record boy. If you don't know what a record boy is, you're the one that sit on the side.
You're good. You're going in and out.
Oh.
He's going out. Is that me?
It must be you, brother, because...
It's his Wi-Fi. It's the Wi-Fi.
Oh, well,
Okay.
Continue.
can y'all hear me now?
Yep, we're good.
Okay, so I was his record boy, and if you don't know what a record boy is, I used to sit on the side and hand him his records. He'd say, "Okay, give me Brothers Johnson, give me the Barcades, give me Confunction,
All the joints you wanted.
right? Give me Cameo." So I would hand him his records, and I put everything back in order, and then when the party started, I helped carry the records in. When it was time to go, I carried the records out. So basically, I was like a day laborer.
Like a water boy.
Yeah, water boy, pretty much. I was yeah. So one day, okay, so now none of my stories are short, so y'all gotta bear with me.
No.
Okay.
This is brand new season. This is all about Coolio and us. So take your time.
Okay, so
I'm good.
okay, so this is how I started I started rapping.
I'm not leaving.
So they was all rapping and stuff. So we used to make these tapes called pause button mixtapes. If you don't know what a pause button, that's where you play a little bit of a song, you play the instrumental part, you pause it, you rewind it back, play it again until you got a whole beat. You played that one part, and you kept pausing it, and on time you pause it to the beat, and you make a 3-minute song, and be like bum, 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 and you just catch that part for 3 minutes. Okay, so and then they would take that after they got that, they would play it into another cassette recording with the microphone, and you would rap over it. So you got one take. If you messed up, that was your ass. Your part was messed up. So they made it was about 4 of them. Everybody did. Right. I wasn't on it yet. I wasn't.
You might need some millenniums over there that with your Wi-Fi.
Okay. Bro, it says my. Bro, what's up with my?
Okay, you good now.
Okay, hold on. Let me see what he got it on right here real quick. Oh, bro. Y'all give me 1 second. I might cut out because he got it on the wrong one. Okay, here we go. Let me see. What's gonna happen here?
How about this?
Hold on.
Yep.
Am I back on?
Yes.
We can hear you, but you're froze up.
Okay.
You should be good now.
How about now?
In and out.
In and out.
We're gonna start over. Hold on. Let's start. Put it back there, folks. You got it on supercool.net, bro.
It was already on there.
I gotta be on Killer Cool. Super Cool is weak. Sit right there for a minute, just guys. So he just got to let me back in now, right?
Yeah, no, everything's
Okay, the phone is working.
no.
Okay, so mine is working. And the speaker's working. How do you test the speaker?
Everything's working, bro. Everything's working.
Okay, everything should be working, right?
Yeah.
Test
They
speaker.
probably have to reset their end too.
Okay. They probably got to what?
Reset their end too.
Call somebody. And they goofy. He goofy as fuck, but he funny. I can bang on that nigga all day. What is that?
That's YouTube Live.
Hey, what's up? What's up, YouTube Live? You mother. You're not supposed to cuss on YouTube, huh?
Hey, not too much, because they be tripping.
What's up, y'all? We live. We're supposed to be on the Marty A. Johnson show right now. How many people watching us right now?
They just coming in now. It's ain't that many people.
Give me a name. Give me a name. Let me give a shout out to somebody.
Liz.
Hey, what's up, Liz? How you doing? Shouts out to Liz out there. Thanks for watching, boo. We on point right now. We on live. We on the Marty A. Johnson show. I don't know who Marty A. is, but Shaka Zulu, man. Who else on there?
Chrissy.
Shouts out to Chrissy. What's up, boo? How you doing? Shaka Zulu. Who else?
Jeremy.
Shout out to Jeremy. Man, hey, y'all, I got a booger in my nose. Let me get it real quick. Yeah, y'all can laugh. I'm gonna get this booger out of my nose real quick. Okay.
Liz just said, "Oh my God, I literally just had a stroke when you mentioned her name."
Okay, Liz. I'm gonna email you this booger real quick. Chrissy, want me to I'm gonna send you a booger by U.S. Post. And you say Jeremy?
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy, I'm gonna FedEx you this booger real quick, man. So be looking for it.
Frank,
hey Frank, I'm gonna send you a booger by Amazon. We're gonna have an Amazon booger package coming tomorrow, so be looking for it. You don't want nobody to steal it.
Okay, so we got some obviously happen, but we just waiting.
So what should I do? Should I start over again? Maybe. Give myself a treat while I'm waiting. I need to go downtown and pick up my inhaler downtown. Jimmy just a night.
All right, cool. Come on, cool.
Buenas noches.
I just looked it up on my phone real quick.
Well, I don't don't do it on the computer? Why? Well, what's the problem? I can't even see. Okay, I'm back. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Sorry about that. Can y'all see me? Alright. How am I hearing look? Okay, cool. The little bit I got left, you know. Okay, cool.
We like to have people. My co-host and I like to have panels, like I understand, from youngins, the grown folks. You know, give it a point of view and chime in with the legends like yourself.
Right.
So you're from that real golden era. Before we get your story, what's one thing from that era that you miss? Do you miss that era?
I gotta say the thing I probably miss from that era is the way we were together at that time. I think that as a people we had a more cohesive a more cohesive thought. You know, people cared about each other more during those times. Now but I do have to say that also during that time, I mean, you know, it was a lot of gang banging was hard and heavy. People was, you know, gang culture in Los Angeles was very strong at that time. But even with that, the gangs were more family oriented at that time, you know. Even though they fought each other, but within your particular gang unit or whatever, you know, people stuck together more during that time. And I think, you know, I don't know, it's just right now it seems like everybody's just super cutthroat. You know, nobody cares about it. People don't care anymore, you know. And I had a period where I know I'm a cuss because it's not for emphasis. Okay, so I'm gonna say, you know, I had a period where I didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was talking about this the other day to somebody, and my homeboy was like, "Man, why you doing all that, man? Well, you know, don't nobody care about that." I said, "I know, but I do." I said, "I give a fuck. I give a fuck now. I'm past my I don't give a fuck stage, and I care now. So the things that I do have to have some forethought, and it has to be a reason and a meaning behind the things that I do. I'm not just gonna do something just for the sake of doing it. You know what I mean? So I give thought to what I say, and I give thought to the music that I put out, and I give thought to how I move in these streets because I care. I care about what these kids see, and I don't care on an everyday basis. I could care less what somebody think about me, just, you know, if they like me or don't like me. But I do care about how I'm perceived because I know these children are watching me, and so I have to, you know, not necessarily be a role model, but what these kids. I got 4 grandchildren right now, so what these kids see when they see me, it means something to me because just say I don't know if somebody want to be like me or not, but if there is a child out there that wants to be like me, then I want to be something that's worth it. You know, it's got to be. I don't want to just be. I'm not trying to be a everyday nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be something. I'm trying to be something special. I want to represent something that's worth being. You know what I mean?
That's legendary, Coolio. What's up, Coolio?
What's up, my brother?
Coolio on set.
What's your name, man?
Raleigh boy.
Riley boy. How you doing? Son?
What's up, Coolio?
It's all good, man. It's too hard and it's too easy.
So look, so that era right there was crazy. I remember
Right.
I'm in LA. I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy to go to the West Coast. The first time I went there, I had an uncle, and I was in Compton. I was in Compton.
Right.
I pulled up, and he pulled. True story. He pulled me and said, "Put on this. You can't wear this."
Right.
I had certain colors on. Basically, it was his guard up my clothes. He was in LA with me before too. Right across the street. Then I said, I'm just going across the street. He was like, nephew, you can't wear that.
And I had a period in my life where, you know, I'm from a Crip neighborhood, so I couldn't wear red. It was a time when if I put on something red, I literally it felt like it was burning me. Like if I put on a red shirt, I'm like, it's burning, take it off. But it wasn't really like that. But I felt like if I wore red, I felt like, damn it. I felt like everybody was watching me. Hey, young lady, I'm about to call you right back, sweetheart. Oh, that's my grandbaby. Y'all want to see my grandbaby? Hold on. Y'all got to see my grandbaby. Look at my grandbaby. Hold on, what is she doing? Look at my grandbaby. Ain't she gorgeous? Hi. That is Nala Samai Bailey, the first of her name. The princess Nala Samai Bailey, first of her name, and the first in a long line of greatness. Say hi, Nala. Say hi. Say hi to the world. It's your first time on camera. That's my youngest granddaughter right there. Hey, sweetheart, call me back, okay? All right, I love you. All right, bye. That was my oldest daughter. That was Artisha. Yeah, and my name is. By the way, my name is Artis Leon Ivy Jr. I was born August 1st, 1963. I'm from Compton, California, and my mother's name was Jackie Mae Jones. My father's name was Artis Leon Ivy, and he's the senior. I'm the junior. Yeah. I have 7 children. I got 4 boys and 3 girls. I used to be a baby machine. So hey, listen, who is that right there? What's your name, young lady? Charlene. So, see my hand, Charlene? Okay. Now imagine that's my hand. I touched you on your shoulder. I touch you on your shoulder, and I say, bring it, and you'll have a baby. and you don't have to wait, and you have a baby like a dog. You only have to be pregnant for 3 months. In 3 months, you will have a child. You don't even got to go 9 months with my children. You'll have a baby in 3 months. You'll go full term in 3 months. Have a 9-pound, 6-ounce baby boy. A boy, I say pregnant. I say, wait a minute, hold up. If I touch you twice, I say twins. Man. Hey, I was 24. Listen, I was 24 years old when I had my first child. I swear, all my homies was having kids between 17 and 19. I had a period where I thought I was sterile. Because I was like, damn, I'm 24, I ain't got no kids. I must can't have kids. So, shit. I'm going to tell you now, back in the day, this was pre-AIDS. The only diseases that I knew about when I was a kid was syphilis and gonorrhea. And they had a cure for that. So, what I'm trying to say is, we wasn't using condoms when I was growing up. I was like, condom? What's a condom? On some real shit. Listen, growing up, neither one of my parents, nor my uncles, aunties, nobody ever talked to me about using a condom. My uncle would say, hey, boy, is you getting some pussy? You getting some pussy? You better get you some pussy. He didn't say, he didn't say, use a condom when you have sex, boy. Nobody told me that. So I had no concept of that. So we was just We was having sex without a condom. We didn't know. We didn't know no better because I never was taught. I wasn't taught to use a condom. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how things changed in 20 years. You know? How old are you, young lady? Who's the young lady with the sweater on? The light skinned lady with the sweater on. Oh, there you go, there you go, there you go, there you go, light skin. How you doing? How you doing, light skin? So now, I'm sure of all the people on here, you probably closest to my age. What you about, 37, 38?
55 as of Saturday. I just turned 55.
50, oh shit, look at you, oh shit. What? I am 57 years old. Hold on, wait a minute, hold on. Wait, y'all watching? Hold on, wait, hold on. Let me get closer, hold on. 1 second. Oh, y'all pay attention now. All right, there we go. Don't make me get down on the ground and do no one-hand push-up now. Don't make me do a one-hand push-up. And y'all hold on. Get your hold on. Before I do that, get your what's that called? Get your cash app ready. Get your cash app ready. You got to make it rain with some change. No, but I eat clean. You know, I try to take care of myself as best as I can. I think the biggest problem I've had with health-wise is these things right here, and being on the road for all these years. Sometimes you don't get to eat as clean as you would like to because really and honestly and truly, I've had days where all I saw was fast food restaurants. There wasn't nowhere else to eat. So sometimes we had to eat that dirty fast food, but you know, my crew, I made it a point to we ate at least one clean meal every day.
At least.
Yeah. So.
No, the roast of beef.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember, like I told you, I've been doing this for a long time. My co-host too. I know you're in Vegas. Look, I ain't even anyone from. I know you rock with Lil Wayne. Even on the show before. I did shit. Anyhow, I was on the road one day. There's an artist of your stature, a multi-platinum artist. I ain't gonna say his name.
Right.
We're gonna talk about the road a little bit. I was just starting out in the game. Let me help you follow me for a minute. I was just starting out.
Right.
And as a new person, it was like, yo, Marty, you want to go on tour with this artist? Bring your cameras. I said, hell yeah.
That's right.
So I'm 22 years old. I'm still young, but I was 22. No, I was 22. I'm on the road. I'm on the West Coast.
Right.
And make a long story short, I see some shit on the road. I was like, yo, fuck all these bitches. I'm talking real talk now.
Right.
Fuck all these bitches. I said, perfect. I said, I'm down. I'm down. Anyhow, towards the end of the tour, they want me to go on the second leg of the tour. Tell me about let's have real talk now. Tell me about the trials and tribulation where they got pissed with me. They kicked me off the tour because I wasn't about them lines.
Oh, you know,
Because they got pissed. They kicked me off the tour because I wasn't down with that life. I'm like, bro. And these, I ain't gonna call them out, but they said, well, you're never working. You ain't no other artist that's gonna be. Ain't no other artist gonna work with you because you're new. I'm like, bro. 15 years later, I'm still here. Anyhow.
man, listen.
He said, tell me about the trial and tribulation of some shit like that on the road.
We did it. You know, a lot of things we did just because we thought we were supposed to do it. You know, it wasn't. I didn't allow certain things to go on with my crew. We had rules. I tell you, we had taxes. Okay, if you was late, $25.
I like that.
$25. It's $25. You get. If you was 5 minutes late, $25. If you was 10 minutes late, it went up $5 every 5 minutes. So, and then we have what I call the funky tax. If you know what the funky tax is, if I smell your feet, I smell your underarms, I'm taxing your ass. If you on a tour bus, I gotta live with you on the tour bus. If I can smell you, you gonna pay me. You gonna pay me if you go wash your ass every day. Go take a bath, shower, whatever you gotta do. If you get on the bus and I can smell you, you gonna pay me. That was one of our rules. That was one of our rules. If we caught you musty, if we caught you musty or anything like that, you had to pay. And we would take that money, we'd put it in a kitty. At the end of the week, we'd go out to dinner or we'd go shopping or whatever. We take your money and we'd do something for everybody. And that's how we did it. And it discouraged people from doing things like that. It made people be on time. It made people take care of themselves. And we was real serious about it. And then also my homies are bad with me. They'll start talking about you real bad. You know, start talking about you real bad. So yeah, it was just certain things that we didn't allow to go on, and my crew was with it. You know, my first crew was called the Coolio and the 40 Thieves, like Alibaba and the 40 Thieves, and then we started calling after the 40 Thieves went off on their own. Then we called our crew the Replacements, Coolio and the Replacements. So. We did things. We tried to do things, not necessarily in a moral way, but just if it makes sense. Everything had to make sense. You know what I mean?
You're the artist. When you're the talent, like you're the face, like me and my co-host. And when stuff goes wrong, they gonna turn on the back out. They gonna look at Coolio.
That's right.
Coolio messed up.
That's right. And it was, you know, everything with my people, I wasn't a dictator. It was a democratic process. We voted on things. Like, okay, now certain things, you know, I don't care. You know, certain things, if I had to put my foot down, then I would make an executive decision. You know, it'd be like I would override certain things, but for the most part, you know, everybody had to be in agreement for the things that we did. You know what I mean? So it wasn't, and I've always lived like this. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question. What is the best idea?
Best idea?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what the best idea. The best idea is the best idea. It don't matter where the idea come from. It could come from you, come from me. It could come from a child. Whoever has the best idea, that's what we went with. You know, just because. If I had an idea and your idea was better than mine, we gonna use your idea, not mine. You know what I mean? So it wasn't never. We never moved like that. We moved. Try to move correctly and do things the best way. And the best way is just the best way. It don't matter where that idea comes from. And I think with a lot of artists, the person who's in charge or the catalyst, the person who's the leader. They make a decision, and if you have a better idea than them, they'll say, "Nah, we're using my idea because I'm the boss." Nah, it don't work. I don't think life works like that. Life works the best way. Yeah, exactly.
Is it team? What makes, for an example, what worked best for the brand? It says Marty and John's show. My co-host came over last night. We're doing stuff in the new season. We're getting ready for you. We're getting ready for you last night.
Right.
He came over. He came over last night. I had my whole little visionary already in my mind. He comes over. Early he says, let's do this. I'm like, oh, this shit's hot.
Okay. That's right.
Say less.
That's right. Yeah. So you know, we just right. And so I'll tell you another thing we used to do. Like, you know, if you gonna bring some young ladies around, if one of the homies wanna bring some women backstage, if you don't look like you 21, then you gotta show some ID. You gotta show some ID. And if you wasn't obviously 30, if you wasn't an obvious grown ass woman, if you looked like you might have been underage, then you gotta show some ID. Cause we wasn't having I don't play that we wasn't playing that underage shit around. I don't want no kid. I don't play with nobody kids, is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You ain't bringing no kids back here cause okay, so for instance, let's say Marty, it was you and the brother who's the other brother we was just talking to a few minutes ago? Okay, Riley Boy. If it's you and Riley Boy, and y'all bring some females backstage, and something happened to one of the females or, you know, whatever, when the police come, they not gonna say Riley Boy and Marty did it, they gonna say Coolio did it. Exactly. So, you know, we was extra careful about that sort of thing. For instance, I'm not gonna name no names, but it was this one dirty, raggedy motherfucker that we used to take on the road with us. The old snake ass, no good son of a. And one time he brought this female back to the hotel. Turned out she was 15 years old. She was 15 years old. She looked like a grown ass woman though. You would have never known. But she stayed out all night. When she got home, she got in trouble. So the first thing she said to her people, oh, they raped me. He raped me. And guess who they said? Coolio raped me. Yeah. I saw her going to this snake ass motherfucker I'm talking about. I saw her going to his room and he said, come here, man, come here, cool, say hi to my friend. And I said hi and I went about my business. Come to find out, she was 15 years old. So the next day, I get a call like, oh, well, the police need to come talk to you. I'm like, for what? And then the whole thing came out. So anyway, make a long story short, she ass. But I didn't. Exactly. So he got to live, but I made, you know, everybody that I know that knew him, I was like, listen, so and so he did fucking with him, then I'm not fucking with you. So I made a decree like that. I'm not doing business with him no more. If you're doing business with him, then I'm not doing business with you. So I kind of blackballed him, in so to speak. I said, everybody, if you do business with him, you just can no longer do business with me. So I pretty much made it impossible. I made it impossible for him to continue to make money in this game because he don't deserve to. You know what I'm saying? If he'll steal from me, he'll steal from you. Just like that. You know, like the shit was fire. Okay, now I'm long. Hey, Marty, I'm long-winded. But I got some good ass interests. Yes, sir. I got some interesting things to say, some interesting stories. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna start this part of the conversation off like this. Remember the wizard's rules. All right, I am the wizard. Rule number 1. People are stupid. Given the proper motivation, almost anyone will believe almost anything. People would rather believe a lie if it suits their lifestyle, if it fits what they want to do or how they try to move. They'd rather believe a lie than believe the truth. And we always remember that. That'll keep you out of a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. The other and another thing. Don't let what people say dictate anything. Let their actions be the guide for how you perceive what kind of person they are. Fuck what they say. It's about what they do. Those are two of my rules that I live by. Okay, now I always wondered about this. Now tell me if y'all ever wondered about this. Why are there 10 commandments? If you, okay, we have the, you know the golden rule, right? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Yes.
Now, if you do that, then what do you need the other 10 commandments for? Exactly. Exactly. So if I treat people the way I want to be treated, period. That's how I get down. That's how I get down. And all the other shit should fall into place. I mean, I don't want nobody stealing from me, so I don't steal from nobody. I don't want nobody trying to sleep with my woman, so I don't sleep with their women. And that's right. That's right. And now with that being said, let me say this. This is some funny shit. So now, you got a woman, Marty, right? You got a woman. Now, if you got a woman, she been with you 5, 6, 7 years. You done did everything to that woman sexually and in a freaky way that anybody can do, right? She done licked all of your ass, under your nuts, behind your ear. She done had her tongue in every part of your mouth. Now, why would I want to kiss her? You know what I call that? I call that SDBA. Sucking dick by association. SDBA. So I listen, and I be tripping off all these rappers. They be all these young rappers. They be like, "Oh, I got your girl doing this. I got your girl doing that." Why you got that nigga girl doing that? If you doing all that shit, won't you just go suck the nigga dick yourself? Cause that's what you're doing. Man, you might as well, because she done sucked everything the nigga got. She done sucked his toes. So if you kissing her, then you kissing him too. Y'all might as well have a threesome. Man, so I've always thought that was funny. Probably about 25 years ago, rappers used to always say, suck my dick. I ain't gonna die. You'll never hear me say that. You'll hear me say, suck a dick. But you'll never hear me say, suck my dick. Because I don't want no man sucking my dick. I don't want no man touching me. So I don't never say that. You never hear me say that. If you listen to every record I've ever done, you will never hear me say SMD. Okay, down here I'm gonna say SMD. I ain't gonna say the whole thing. Now, y'all know what I mean by SMD. You'll never hear me say that because I don't want that. Okay, now I got some shit. I got some shit. Okay, so back to the story that I was telling earlier. So it was this brother, three cousins came from New York. They moved across the street from me with their grandmother. I wasn't rapping yet. Now I've always been a reader. I've always been a writer. I got straight A's in English. I got straight A's in Western civilization, history, anything that had to do with reading. I always got straight A's. I went from a straight A. I was a bullied child, by the way. I got bullied from 2nd grade to 7th grade. I mean, I'm talking about slapped upside the head, kicked in the ass, lunch money took, pushed down to the ground. Everything that bullies do to people. I've been bullied. So now, when the summer going from 7th to the 8th grade, it was this girl I liked. Her name was Cynthia. So this particular day, it was the last week of school. Her and her friend was walking home, and I was following behind them, waiting for my chance to make my move, so I could slide up on her and say, "Hey, how you doing? I like you. Can I have your phone number? Maybe we could go get some ice cream or some shit. You know what I'm saying? We can go skating or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Can I bring my skates over your house? You know what I'm saying? We gonna skate down the block, whatever." So right as I was gonna make my move, it was this 1 yard. And if you ever been to Compton, people be having some big ass skin. They have a long backyard, but it'd be a long skinny ass backyard. It'd probably be 8 feet across, but 100 feet long. So As I was walking, I was getting ready to slide up on her. It was a gate in the middle of this backyard. The whole backyard was covered by a gate, and there was a small gate in the middle so you could come out. Right as I was finna walk up on her, the gate popped open, and this dude stepped out. And I actually stumbled, and I stepped on his foot. His name was, I know his name was Henry Smith. I stepped on this nigga's foot, and this nigga said, "Oh, you stepped on my corn. You stepped on my feet." And I stepped on his foot by accident. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me." He did a little hop jump step. He did like this. He did that little hop step, and he said, "Bah!" And he slapped me in the back of my motherfucking head. He slapped me in the back of my head so hard that I ain't gonna lie. You know how when you watch cartoons and you see them stars going around your head? He slapped the shit out of me. And I did like this. I said, I started crying. I ran home. I ran home, and I ain't gonna lie. That was the day I decided that shit ain't gonna never happen to me again. So this was like Wednesday. We had 2 more days left of school. I didn't go back to school. It was the end of the year anyway. I didn't go back to school. And from that day, I would have signed up. I would have signed up for this boxing class at the YMCA. They had an after school program, a summer school program. After summer school, it was this cat that went to my junior high school. He came back and taught us Taekwondo at the summer. If you went to summer school, then you could go to this Taekwondo class in the gym. And he taught us Taekwondo for the 2.5 months of the summer. So I was there religiously every day. And I was religiously went to the boxing class at the Y every day. And then there was this cat that lived across the street from me named Gregory McCall. He was a state champion wrestler in his weight class. And my big homies, because I was one of the smaller kids, one of my big homies had a problem with him and told me to beat him up. So he said, "Get him, Boo." They used to call me Boo. Now, my nickname was Boo. This is before everybody started saying, "Hey Boo, hey Boo, hey Boo." That was before that shit. So my homie said, "Hey Boo, beat that fool up for me." I said, "Why you gonna beat him up?" He said, "Because he's too little. You beat him up, he your size." So I went to rush him, and I tried to fire on him, and he grabbed me by my arm and tossed me over. He threw me in the sticker bushes. So I come out the sticker bushes, I'm like, "Oh." So I tried to rush him again. Boom. He flipped me and threw me over his other hip and threw me in the sticker bushes again. When I came out the sticker bushes that next time, I was like, And I didn't rush up on his ass again. And my homie got mad and tried to swing on him. He ducked and he ran. So the next day, I came out my house, I looked across the street, I saw him walking down the street. So as I saw him, now, from getting chased home all those years, I was like the 3rd fastest runner in my neighborhood. I was faster than a motherfucker. Everybody knew how fast I was. So I took off. He knew how fast I was. He didn't even run. He just backed up against the wall. When I ran up on him, he said, "Man, I don't want to fight you." And I said, "I don't want to fight you either." I said, "Listen, man." I said, "You know karate or something?" I said, "How you throw me in the sticker bushes like that?" He said, he bluffed his chest and he said, "I'm a state champion wrestler in my weight class for the last 2 years." I said, "For real?" I said, "Hey, can you teach me how to do that?" And he looked at me crazy like, "Man, what the fuck?" I said, I ain't got no money." I said, "When we be having all the cereal," my mama used to work for General Mills. So on top of my refrigerator, we had 10 boxes of cereal on a daily basis. We always had cereal. This is what he said, he said, "Oh yeah, I heard y'all be having the cereal." So he used to come over my house every day, and we used to wrestle every day. And I get that nigga a box of cereal every day. So by the end of the summer, I had got pretty good at wrestling. So make a long story short, when school started back, I started fighting back, and I started winning. I started whooping ass, and that was the end of me getting bullied. So now, that's a long ass story to go into this. When I first started rapping, it was this other brother moved from New York. His name was Juan. He was a Puerto Rican pretty boy. He was a little pretty motherfucker. Every girl that I liked him. Okay? So now, they made this pause button mixtape. He came in and he kept rewinding this part, listening to it. Rewind this part. He probably did it about 10, 15 times. And he turned to me and he said, hey, that shit is fly, right? That's fly. And I listened, I said, it's all right. He said, that's all right. He said, well, I'm asking you anyway. He said, your opinion don't count. You don't know how to rap anyway. I said, well, I think I'm intelligent, so I give the intelligent answer. I say, well, I'm the consumer. So with me being the consumer, I would say that my opinion does count because I'm the one that would buy your record. So he said, shut up. I said, you know what? I said, I could write some shit like that in 15 minutes. He said, do it then. And I did. And I wrote my first rap that day, and I started writing every day after that, and that's how I started rapping. And that was a long ass story to get to that little bitty ass part, but yeah. So that's how I started rapping. And I used to rap like this. My name is Coolio, boy, the microphone. A place called Compton was my home. Sitting on chrome, rolling through the hood. Yeah, I used to rap like that. I thought I wanted to be. Hell yeah, I wanted to be Melly Mel. Melly Mel was my favorite rapper. If y'all don't know who Melly Mel is, that's the guy who wrote The Message. Him and a cat named Duke Booty. Which is I don't know how the fuck you gonna name yourself Duke Booty. I would never name myself that. But yeah, that was his name. Anyway, so that's how I started rapping, and it just became a part of what I am, a part of who I am. And I do have to say, without hip hop, I probably would be dead or just getting out of prison right now, because I was definitely hanging with the wrong crowd. I was gangbanging. You know what I'm saying? I was stealing and robbing and breaking in houses. Everything that every wrong thing that a young black man could do, I was doing it. Drinking and smoking. I went from straight A's. I was on the honor roll and got straight A's my whole life. 7th grade to 8th grade, the first semester I got 2 F's. The second semester I got 6 F's all the way across the board. And I you know, my mama in heaven or wherever she had looking down on me, mama, I apologize because I broke my mother's heart. My mother was heartbroken when I got them F's. She didn't even whoop my ass. And let me tell you, my mother used to give some serious ass whoopings. I used to get a whooping for everything. I get my ass whooped for leaving. I get my ass whooped for looking in the refrigerator too many times. Shit. I used to get whooping for everything. And you know, but she was so heartbroken that she didn't even whoop me. She just shook her head and my mother cried. When she saw them 6 F's on my report card, I've never seen my mother cry that hard. She cried so hard, and that shit probably still affects me to this day. You know. So I pretty much, and from that point on, from 8th grade to the 10th grade, I got straight F's. I did not go. I hated school because all those years of getting bullied, it made me not like school. I didn't like school, and I started drinking 40s, smoking weed, doing every wrong thing that, like I said, a young black man could do, and it almost destroyed my life. It almost damaged me beyond repair. So when I got to 10th grade, I wasn't getting bullied no more. And I started liking school again because that's where all the girls was at. So it wasn't no girls hanging out in the hood. They was all at school. So I wanted to go to school to see the girls. So in 11th grade, I got straight A's again. I got straight A's in 11th grade. I got straight A's in the 12th grade. But I had so many missing credits that I still couldn't graduate. I walked across the stage and I got it. I got that folder that diploma supposed to be in. I opened that motherfucker up and it was empty. Yeah, it was a bill in that motherfucker for 3 school books that was missing. So I had to go to summer school, night school, and a whole extra semester of school in order to get I finally got my high school diploma like a year later. But yeah. So and then I grew up. I wanted to be I always thought I was gonna be a psychiatrist. I wanted to be a psychiatrist, and I saw some shit on TV and or something, and I started doing word association. You know, I would say, how do you feel when I say the word? What's your name, young lady? You got the letters on front of your shirt. Sheila J. Tell me how you feel when I say the word movie. What does it bring to mind? Ice cream, okay. Now when if I say the word movie, you say the word ice cream, that means that you might have a fascination with things that are cold or things that are smooth and silky. How does it make you feel when I say, boom, ice cream everywhere? Hey, I got a story that go along with that, and it's a nasty ass story, and so I ain't gonna tell it. But that one of my homies said that shit.
Go into the Dub C.
I ain't gonna do it.
Go into the mad circle. Go into the mad circle. No. We gonna skip that because I ain't gonna be talking to nobody's daughter like that. You somebody's daughters. And you got any kids? You got kids? Okay, well, I'm not gonna talk to nobody's mama. I ain't gonna talk to nobody's mama and nobody's sister like that. The way this is terrible. So we're gonna move on to the next thing. So I went from that to I was the West Coast. They used to call me the West Coast Flavor Flav. Cause I was no, for real. Dub C from West Side Connection had a group called WC in the Mad Circle. I was Dub C's hype man. We was the very first West Coast group that did a show in New York and did not get booed off the stage. They booed Eazy-E off the stage. They booed Ice Cube off the stage. They booed NWA off the stage. The Mad Circle, I ain't gonna say we got claps and applaud. We just got this. But we didn't get booed. Cause I would do anything. I should run across stage and do flips, commando rolls, all kind of. I should do some crazy shit. But to keep the people and people did so much clap for me, they should go. What is this nigga doing right here? You know, yeah. And I was that cat. I was born to do this shit. Cause this shit it was made for me. And you know, so I went from that to, and then so Ice Cube, so Shorty, JD from the Lynch Mob got 30. He killed somebody at a party and he got 30 years. JD, as a matter of fact, JD is getting ready to get out sometime soon. I talked to one of his homies that's real close friends with JD's brother, and he told me that JD should be getting out in the next couple of months, by the way. So JD will get out of it. Hell yeah. So, oh, wait a minute, hold on. But let's get dry, motherfucker. But, your mouth ever get dry and your lips start sticking to your gums and shit? That's not a good look. I'm gonna tell you, the worst thing you ever want to see is a big ass pair of crusty, dry ass lips. That's the worst thing you ever. That's almost as bad as women if your feet look mad, if you ain't get your feet done. That's the equivalent of not getting your feet done is a pair of big rusty ass dry lips. Anyway, so now let's go from there. I was with Dub C for probably about we did one album on Priority Records. I got a solo record deal on Priority, and it was a guy named Guy Naganello that used to work for Priority Records. He was one of the first people on the West Coast that started doing ecstasy. This motherfucker had an ecstasy habit, and he got caught stealing. He was stealing Ice Cube records and selling them pretty much out the back door. He was stealing product. He was stealing Ice Cube's records and selling them to people on the side. And he got caught. He got fired, and every group that he signed got dropped. And he was the A&R at that time. I was one of his groups, so they dropped me. So that record, the record was called Capital Punishment, and it never came out. And that would have been my first album. So I went. Okay, it was this guy named Paul Stewart. Paul Stewart is a Jewish cat that is from the West Coast. He got Farside their first deal. He got Montel Jordan his first deal. He got Warren G his first deal. He was one of the cats that was he was very instrumental in helping QD3, which is Quincy Jones' son. He helped him get some of his first deals, and he got me my first record deal. And he took a record that my original producer, the person who created my sound, his name is DJ Wino. I don't know if on my first album cover you see the dude with the big ass afro. He was my producer. He made about 8, maybe 12 tracks for me. We took 5 of those and I gave him to Paul Stewart. He started shopping my deal. I got an offer from Jive Records. I got an offer from Tommy Boy Records. I got an offer from Polygram and 2 other labels. I can't remember the other 2 labels, but 5 companies gave me an offer. They offered me a single deal. Okay, so yeah, one record. So they was offering me between 10 and 25,000. So Tommy Boy had the highest offer. They offered me 25,000 for one single deal. I took that 20. Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't really. It was, but it wasn't because that was when. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. But studio time was very, very expensive at that time. So we had what is called a 2-inch tape. It was about 2 inches wide, and the reel was about this big. And one 2-inch tape was anywhere from $250 to $500, depending on what quality you got. So I took that 25,000, and I did 5 songs with that. I did 5 songs. I took those. Matter of fact, no, I did 8 songs. So we had 3 days of studio time. I did 3 songs the first day. I did 3 songs the second day, and I did 2 songs on the third day. And then the money was gone. We probably had about out of that 25,000, we had about $2,000 left over. So I turned in. I gave those to my manager, Paul Stewart. He started shopping 5 of those songs. Tommy Boy heard the 5 songs. They was like, shit. Well, hell, just give me my. No, not shop. Excuse me. He started shopping those 5 songs. He took 5 of those 8 songs and showed them to Tommy Boy. They was like, he did 5 songs with $25,000. Oh shit. Hell, well, give him an EP deal. So they gave me another $25,000. I took that next $25,000 and I pretty much finished my album. I did 6 more songs with that $25,000, He let them hear 5 more. They was like, give him an album deal. So they gave me 75,000 more, which all in total they gave me $125,000, and they gave me an album deal. I took that $125,000. I think we spent $100,000 to make my first album. We had $50,000 left over. After I paid my attorney, my manager got his cut, paid all the bills. We had about $40,000 left over, and me and my producer, we split it. He got 20, I got 20. When it was all said and done, and we had a record deal we put out. The first single we put out was called County Line, which was a song. It was a song about being on welfare. You know, you standing in the county line. You go to the county building. You know, I said you get exactly. So, so I did County Line. We shot the video. It was a regional hit. It wasn't a national hit. It did well from I guess from California to Texas. It did pretty good. We started doing a couple shows, and then they wanted to put out Fantastic Voyage. Fantastic Voyage. Mm-hmm. No, it was County Line, and the B side was called Sticky Fingers. That was the B side, but it got a little bit of side airplay on the radio or whatever. Yeah. So, so then we put out Fantastic Voyage, and I swear it wasn't even 30 days. That shit was blowing up, bro. MTV was playing it. Yeah. And it was a remake from a group called Lakeside. They had a song called Fantastic Voyage, and we redid it, and it took off. And it ended up, at the end of the day, it's probably about 3 times platinum now, but during that time, it went double platinum as a single. Go ahead. That cactus food. Well, I did. I wrote. I got all my publishing. Tommy Boy took 25% in order to make the deal. I had to give them 25% of my publishing off the first record. But we had all kind of incentives that were written into the contract. If I went gold, I got a certain amount. If I went platinum, I got a certain amount. Anything after $1 million sales, it was real good for me. It made it so that exactly. It made it so that I would have a chance to make some real money. So yeah. No, Tommy Boy they sent me to a lot of shows. Now you have to understand, this was signed to Tommy Boy. They had Naughty by Nature, they had De La Soul. Queen Latifah had just got signed she got out of her Tommy Boy deal, and she got signed to Motown Records. Okay. So they had Naughty by Nature, De La Soul, and House of Pain, and they had Digital Underground. Digital Underground, the What You Like had blew up, the Hunky Dance blew up. So I started doing a lot of shows I did a lot of shows with Digital Underground. I did a lot of shows with De La Soul. I wasn't doing so at that time. I did a few shows with Marty, but later on, I started doing a lot of shows with Marty. We actually the following year, we did a tour. It was called the Cool Naughty Pain tour. So it was House of Pain, Naughty by Nature, and me. And we went on tour and we did a tour in Australia. We did 12, I think was it 8 shows? We did 8 shows. We did 8 shows in Australia and 3 shows in New Zealand. And that was at that time, that was a big thing for me. Now, let me go back. The very first tour I went on though was with WC and the Mad Circle, and it was a Canadian tour, and we opened up for Ice-T. We opened up for Ice-T. And Ice-T, a lot of people don't know this, but Ice-T was very instrumental of me being an artist. Because Ice-T, I don't know if y'all know, but Ice-T was an amazing artist. Now, a lot of people didn't like Ice-T's music. And as far as hip hop goes, a lot of people wouldn't, Ice-T is not in a lot of people's top 10. But as an artist, he was one of the best to ever do it because he knew how to be an artist. He wasn't the best rapper in the world, but he was one of the best artists. He knew how to do an interview. He knew how to dress. He knew how to put on a show. He was and I ain't gonna lie. I used to hang on Ice-T's every word. Ice-T would get up in the morning and go to radio stations and do interviews on the morning show. So we had to be up at 6:30, 6 o'clock to get there so he could do the morning show. I would get in the limo and get all the way in the back, all the way in the front of the limo by the driver and make myself real small and be in the corner. So nobody did, I didn't, no, you could come, no. He made the offer, anybody could come if they wanted to go, but nobody didn't ever want to get up. I used to get my ass up. I set my alarm, or I would get a wake-up call, and I'd be right there. And I'd jump in the limo, and I'd get all the way in the back, and I'd roll, and I listen to Ice-T's every word. I remember, I'll give you, for instance, one time, we was rolling, right? So we rolling down now. Now, I don't know what y'all know about Canada, but Canada got hoes too. Canada got a whole stroll. We was rolling down the Blade. That's right. Yeah, we was rolling down the Blade. In Canada. We pull up to this light, and it's like 10 hoes on the corner. And Ice rolled down the window, and they saw me and said, "Oh, Ice, oh my God, oh, Ice!" It's on their titties and shit. "Oh, Ice, let's say hi." I say, hey, how y'all doing, hoes? How y'all hoes doing? Y'all all right? "Yeah, Ice, we love you. Can we go?" He said, "Nah, baby." He said, "Baby, y'all can't go with Ice today. Ice is a married man now." Showed him his ring. He said, "Ice is a married man now, and Ice ain't pimping no more." He said, "But y'all hoes take care of yourself now." We rolled off, and I laughed my ass off. Ice was funny as hell, but Ice would go to the radio station. So all the people that interviewed us and everybody on the radio at that time was all white people. So Ice used to say some shit, and Ice would say some shit, and no white people be hanging. They'd be like, "Did he really say that shit?" They used to be fascinated by Ice-T. He had their ass fascinated. So I'm taking notes. Literally. I got my notebook out, and I'm writing shit down. I'm like, okay. So I should try to have an answer. I should try to have an answer for anything that anybody could ask me about being an artist. And I was on point. I studied what Ice-T did. And that's how I learned how to do interviews. I learned how to do interviews. Go ahead.
I'm so glad we're on this subject because I interview legends
Now that's hey, it's a pro and a con to that though, Marty. Let me tell you. A lot of artists, I know artists, if you ask them a question that they don't want to answer, they will act like they didn't hear you. And they'll start talking about, so that's what I used to do. If somebody asks me a question and I didn't really want to answer it, I act like I didn't hear you. And I start talking about some shit that don't got nothing to do with what you said. Go ahead. Wait, Lil Wayne? I don't even, no. You got me fucked up. I don't even know Lil Wayne like that. I shook Lil Wayne's hand one time, maybe twice, and that's what he said. I said, what's up, Wayne? How you doing, brother? I like what you're doing. He said, oh, legend, what's up, legend? It's nice to meet you. That's the extent of our conversation. I wish I could sit down and have a conversation with Lil Wayne. I wish I knew Lil Wayne good, because if I did, I'd slap that nigga in the back of his motherfucking head and say, what the fuck you doing, man? You stop all this bullshit that you're doing, nigga. Don't you know these motherfuckers is watching you? If I knew Lil Wayne good, I would kick Lil Wayne in his ass. Right. Wow, okay. Okay. 73.
They said I was too new, I didn't have enough swag, I didn't have enough energy, blah, blah, blah. Anyhow, fast forward, it was a big show. Big show. This boy, named Marty.
Oh, wait, I don't mean to cut you off. Let me ask you a question. Hey, you ever met Bofa?
No.
You don't know Bofa? Oh, okay. All right. Hey, do anybody know Bofa?
No.
What was the young lady with the braids, with the glasses? You know Bofa?
No. Who's that?
Both of these nuts. I set your ass up for that one, bro. I got you. Nigga, I got your ass. Nigga, got him. I did all that shit just to make a joke. Told you I was funny. Marty, I told you I was funny. Yes. Yes.
I'll be honest. So-so Def turned me down for my first interview.
Right.
They absolutely turned me down.
Right.
The same day they turned me down, Bad Boy Records called me the same day.
That's right.
They said, bro, you want to come do this interview? So they got Carl Thomas. Never forget, first interview. I'm like, hell yeah. The next thing you know, as that interview, I'm at the BET Awards.
I tell young artists this all the time. Listen,
Keep moving.
my closed mouths don't get fed. Don't be scared to ask for something, because the worst thing when you ask somebody for something, the worst thing they can do is say no. The worst thing they can do is say no, unless you run to one of these ignorant motherfuckers and you ask them a question and they pull a gun out and shoot your ass in the leg. Because you got some ignorant motherfuckers in the world like that. They're crazy as fuck. You ask them a question, you be like, what? Fire! I'll shoot your ass. Now, that's you don't find them type of motherfuckers every day though.
Yeah, let me get back to that. I want to talk about Fantastic Voyage.
Okay. All right.
When I hit, it was all over.
Yeah.
White people, black people, people that didn't speak no English, hell,
Yes.
the green, Chinese, they knew all the words.
That's right.
But baby, was the success monetary and, commercially?
Yes, it was.
Expensive.
Yes. Yeah. I got a commercial. I did a commercial in Switzerland for a water company. They gave me $100,000 for a water commercial. And this is what I said. I took a bottle of water. I had a bottle of water, right? And I put it on my eye like that. and you could see my eye through the water bottle. And I said, and I drunk some, and I put it to my eye, and I said, damn, this water's clear. Damn, this water, I said, damn, this water tastes good. And that was the commercial. They gave my dumb ass $100,000 for doing that. And hold on, and I won an award for the best commercial of the year in Switzerland. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? At that time, that was the biggest check I had seen at one time in my life. I got a $100,000 check for doing a water commercial. Yep. Okay. I got a story about In Vogue that I just talked to my manager right now. He said, nah, man, don't tell that story. Don't tell that story. Okay. Okay, I do some shows with In Vogue. And this particular day, we was backstage, and it's only three of the In Vogue members that still tour. They got a new girl, right?
Yeah.
They got one new girl that goes with Dawn, and what's the other one name?
No, it's two. It's two again.
Yeah. It's two original members, and then they got a new girl. Yeah. So I went to go say hi. I went to speak to them. And they act like they didn't motherfucking see me. And I was like, wait a minute, hold on. I said, so I'm thinking to myself, I said, wait a minute, they must have not saw me. I said, they must have not saw me. I'm thinking to myself, like, they must have not saw me because they didn't speak this shit. So I said, let me try this shit again. So I walked over. I said, hey, how y'all doing? What's going on? Security jumped in front of the door and blocked the door. And I get mad. I say, get your big ass out the way, nigga. I said, motherfucker, I'm trying to speak, motherfucker. Fuck wrong with you? And he looked at me crazy. And all of them go out the doorway, go in their dressing room, and they shut the door. And they didn't speak to me. And that was I done been knowing them for years. We have spoken. We always been cool and always been cordial. I don't know what the fuck they was on, but they didn't speak to me. So after that, I'm the type of person, I don't hold grudges, okay? But if you do some shit like that to me, then I will never try to speak to you again. I'm not gonna get mad. I'm not gonna talk bad about you. When I see you, I won't speak again. Now, if you speak to me, I'll say, hey, how you doing? But I'm not gonna go out of my way to try to speak to you again. So since that day, we have not spoken to each other. It was, yeah. Right.
And I regret Dawn's memory. I said, when I met y'all, the first time y'all very stank.
Yeah.
And I quote that.
Exactly. When I met your ass, when I met your raggedy ass, you was still wearing a slip. God damn it. You was still wearing a goddamn slip. So when I first met your ass, you had a tooth missing in the front. got your motherfucking tooth, you got your motherfucking tooth fixed. Now you wanna act like you somebody, huh? Okay. Okay, so Antoine Fuqua, Dangerous Minds was one of the first things he ever did. He went on to become a big famous director, and you know he did a lot of stuff after that. Well, the motherfucker ain't never called me and asked me to do shit in none of his movies. I wish I would have let somebody else shoot my video now. You know, him and Gary Gray, raggedy ass. Gary Gray did Fantastic Voyage and went on to become a. You know, these motherfuckers ain't never called me and gave me a role in nothing. Hell no. Oh, man, I slapped both of them niggas upside the head. I kick Antoine Fuqua right square in his ass if I ever see that nigga somewhere. And asking me, I say, you want to get down? I'm quick. Look, win, lose, or draw, I'll fight. I don't care. I'm like, nigga, we can get down right now. You want to get down? You got a problem? Let's get down right now. I'm quick to say that. I am quick to say that because I don't like. I'm not disrespectful. I don't like. I ain't gonna let nobody disrespect me. If you disrespect me, then you either have to take an ass whooping or you have to give out one. One of the two. There it is. There it is. Listen, that's the merit of a man. And that's the thing that's different between what we are now and what we used to be. Back in the day, a real man could take an ass whooping, get up, dust himself off, shake your hand, and y'all could be friends afterwards. Now these youngsters ain't taking no ass whoopings. You whoop somebody's ass these days, you gotta worry about whether they're gonna come shoot you in the back of the head.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a different time now.
Yeah, it's a whole different time. You know, my son, my oldest son, he got hand. My oldest son, that boy got. I wish I would have made his ass box. The boy got hand. Ooh, what's that? Turn around, let me see. Ooh, my girl got some change. Let me stop. Okay. Excuse me. Just so y'all know, I am a male chauvinist pig. All right. Did you? Oh shit! That is you. I knew you looked familiar. Hey, listen. This is all I got to say about that. This is all I'm say about that. Back it up now. Little tone, big butt, back it up now. Excuse me, pardon me. Hey, look. Hey, listen. I just like to have fun. No disrespect, young lady. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just trying to be funny. I'm just trying to be funny. That's all. Yeah.
Like I said, we're talking for those listening. We got the legend Coolio. He has a real talk with us, and man, just in the background because he's filling them jewels. But
No. Hey, look, my manager is my cousin. We family. So he back here laughing. He back here laughing just like y'all laughing.
Perfect.
He know I'm an ignorant motherfucker, so he's used to it. Anyway, so now, excuse me, Gangster Paradise is a blessing and a curse. Because since I did Gangster Paradise, it's not, to me, Gangster Paradise is not the best song that I've ever done in my life. I think I have many songs that are better than Gangster Paradise. But if you ask the world what's my best song that I ever did, and they gonna tell you Gangster Paradise because it's the most successful song I've done. But in reality, in reality, it's almost like I've, it's a lot of people that think a lot of people call me, they don't know my history, so they say I'm a one-hit wonder. Because that's the only song they know, so they think that that's my only song. And it's weird that way, but, Now look, I don't look a good horse in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? Gangsta Paradise is a very well thought. No, I'll tell you a story of Gangsta Paradise. I wrote Gangsta Paradise in one city. When I started writing it, okay, say this is the pen, right? I'm writing. I never picked up my pen. I never thought, I did not think about, I never stopped, I never did this. I never did that. I wrote it out, I wrote Gangsta Paradise out like it was already in my head. So, with that being said, this is what I say about Gangsta Paradise. I didn't write Gangsta Paradise. Gangsta Paradise wrote me. Gangsta Paradise is its own entity. It was in the biosphere, and it was waiting to be born, and it shows me as a vessel for which it came through. All I did was pick up the pen, and Gangsta Paradise wrote itself. Now, okay, hey, okay, LV is the one that sung on Gangsta Paradise, right?
Did you win a Grammy too, or was it just you? Did he get a Grammy too?
No, he didn't. But I gave him, I had to make him a Grammy.
Wow, nice.
I had to make him a Grammy, okay? And he did win a Grammy too, because I made sure that happened. I got $100,000 for that one song to be in that movie. They gave me $100,000. At that time, I think that was the highest amount of money they had paid for a one song on a soundtrack at that time. So now, let me tell you what type of brother I am though. They gave me $100,000. I paid all the bills. I paid the lawyer. I paid the studio time. I paid for everything. I got $50,000. I gave the producer $25,000, and I gave LV $25,000.
That's all right.
How many motherfuckers you know that do? Most people would have gave LV $5,000. They would have gave the producer $5,000. They would have kept the rest. I split that shit evenly. I got the and I'm gonna tell you, after I paid the lawyer, paid all the fees, I probably ended up with about $25,000 myself. Exactly. So I was more than fair. But now, there's an interview on YouTube. This motherfucker LV he made up a fucking story about Gangsta Paradise. He took my story, he took the real story of Gangsta Paradise and put himself into the story. Like, this motherfucker said that he asked me to do the song, and it took me 2 weeks to come to the studio and do it. He just made up a damn lie. I don't know if the nigga is going senile or he having some type of mental breakdown or something. But I never did say anything about it, and I didn't disrespect him, because the only thing that's gonna happen behind that is if me and him started beefing, right? If we got into it over that. First of all, we too motherfucking old to be doing some old silly ass shit like that. I'm too old for that shit. But the only thing that would come from that is art. He got a son that's in the music business. I have 2 sons that's in the music business. They probably would have got into it. They would have started beefing. Our homies would have started beefing. And somebody would have fucked around and got killed probably, but it wouldn't have been me or him. You feel me? So that's why I let that shit go. It is what it is. He can say whatever he want to say. Me and him both know what really happened, and the people around know what really happened. So it is what it is. And that's not. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that at that. But Gangsta Paradise is one of the top
50 best-selling hip hop songs of all time. It's done wonders for me and my family, and you know it will. Yeah. Listen. I always say this. People say certain shows I don't perform Gangsta Paradise, cause you got in order to hear Gangsta Paradise, you got to give me a certain amount of money. You got to pay for that. You got if you like certain amount of money. If you give me only X amount of dollars, that's the only song you gonna get. Hello?
My phone died.
Oh shit.
You
No, it didn't, bro. Yeah, give me back on this. Ooh. Oh, I like this little goofy ass nigga. He a little goofy ass nigga, but he I don't know, for some reason he make motherfuckers comfortable enough to talk to him.
That could be it for him to get to that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, check that first.
What?
Check the internet.
That's
That's on the right one.
Okay.
Password, password, I don't know it.
No, I know.
You gotta click back in the box.
No, I had to look at that.
You gotta click back in the box though.
No, I broke the password.